Welcome back, everybody. Let's do that second hour. FireYourMDNow.com. That's right, FireYourMDNow.com. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to another live edition. I'm trying to get the audio levels dialed in here just so. Bear with me, please. Let's see if that works any better. Hopefully it will. Okay, so we're going to take it right to the phones real quick. The phone lines are cranked today. 866-582-9933 is the number to call to speak to me live, just like Terry in Virginia did. Hey, Terry, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden. I just want to let you know I really appreciate you, and I can hardly wait to become an insider. I'm planning on doing that next month. But I have, some questions here, one about a friend of mine, and I wanted to ask you about something that occurred with my mother and about some insurance options.
Okay, fire when ready. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I have this here friend named Kim, and she has high anxiety, a lot of depression. She used to be a heavy drinker and was on methadone. And if you could elaborate on the methadone, I'd appreciate it. She has some financial problems, muscle aches, bone aches, and she's menopausal.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's a perfect example of complete and utter failure of conventional medicine because, you know, they've got nothing for her. I mean, they've got nothing for her, and while she's been under their care, she's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. When we think about anxiety, we think about a calcium and a magnesium deficiency and blood sugar issue. When we think about depression, we think about blood sugar and hormonal issues. So right off the bat, the recommendation for her would be one healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, one bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, and one extra bottle of the white liquid calcium a month, the Beyond Osteo FX. Now, the drug addiction and the methadone, you know, methadone works in the body like any other drug. It works by stimulating certain biochemical pathways, right, and blocking others. Stimulating certain biochemical pathways and blocking others. Well, biochemical pathways work through vitamins and minerals and essential fatty acids and amino acids. That's how they work. They don't work on fairy juice and pixie dust. So whenever anybody is taking prescription medications, you know, for more than a day, you need to supplement your body with the nutrients that the drugs are burning through and using up. This is why drugs stop working after a fashion, because they've burned through all of the nutrients that they need in order to work effectively. It's like a fire going dead because you stopped putting wood on it. And then what do the MDs do? They just give a different designer drug, right? That's nonsense. So whenever we see anybody taking prescription medications for a long time, then we just consider, you know, that they're extremely nutrient deficient, especially deficient in the mineral department. So the recommendation, the extra special sauce for her would be the plant-derived minerals. The recommendation, one bottle of plant minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month. That's a very good program for her to start with, and especially she needs to eliminate the 10 bad foods, right? She needs to stop eating the 10 bad foods. And the selenium supplementation that I recommend will go a long way towards supporting and promoting the structure and function of her liver. If she has a juicer, there's another thing that she can do. She can drink 1 ounce of fresh squeezed beet juice every day, 1 ounce of fresh squeezed beet juice every day. And every 2 weeks she can go up an ounce until she's at 4 ounces of fresh squeezed beet juice a day. And then I want her to stay there for 4 weeks. Don't do more than 4 ounces of fresh squeezed beet juice a day. When she's at 4 ounces a day, she can stay there for 4 weeks, and she can add anything else she wants to that to make it taste good. One of my favorite combinations is green apple, carrot, and beet juice. So she does the beet juice mixture, the selenium, the extra plant minerals, the extra calcium, and the blood sugar healthy pack. Within 6 months, I don't think she's going to recognize herself. That's what I would do for her.
Well, let me ask you this now. She's wanting to know the difference in the calcium that comes out of the ocean and the plant-based calcium. So can you elaborate?
Oh, yeah, there's a giant difference. The calcium that comes out of the ocean is the calcium that comes out of the earth. And the calcium that comes out of the earth, you know, calcium carbonate chalk, right? The White Cliffs of Dover, it's the molecular form of calcium. And the molecular mineral form of calcium is what I meant. The mineral form of calcium is very difficult for the human body to absorb. The way that God set it up is you've got the rocks on the earth, and the rocks are filled with minerals. The rocks get ground down by the wind and the water and by erosion. Now they're in the soil, so the minerals are deposited in the soil, so there's calcium in the soil. And then the plants grow in the soil. And when the plants grow in the soil, the roots suck the minerals out of the ground, they suck the water out of the ground, they suck everything else out of the ground. And as the plant's body metabolizes the calcium, for instance, that it has sucked out of the ground, it changes the molecular structure of the calcium. It turns it from a mineral into a colloid, and in so doing changes the electrical charge and changes the size of the molecule of the calcium that's being thrown into the human body. Plant-derived colloidal minerals are extremely easy for the human body to absorb. This is one of the reasons why we need to eat plants. Just digging up calcium out of the ground, going to the White Cliffs of Dover, digging up a whole bunch of chalk, purifying it, and putting it into a drink and swallowing it, your body's going to be very hard-pressed to actually take that up and use it, whereas it can use a plant-derived colloidal mineral like nobody's business, because that's the way nature intended it. So, and that's the difference. Our minerals are plant-derived colloidal minerals, and there's a gigantic difference in how the body takes those up and uses them, and we have Dr. Wallach to thank for that.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that information. I'll pass it along to her. Now, another thing that I've been really wanting to ask you about is something that occurred with my mother. She developed jaundice last year at the very end of July, or maybe the 1st of August. And we were fixing to go to a meeting where this CEO was talking about muscadine products. And so I asked him about Mama. And I said, she appears to have jaundice, and he said, yes, she does. And and immediately he said, I don't think she has cancer. He said, what kind of prescriptions has she been on? I said, well, she's only been on one. It's for a seizure that she had about 12 years ago, and she's been on the same dosage for the past 12 years, which is 2,000 milligrams daily. Well, actually, he just about fell out on the floor, and he said she should never have been on that long. And he went on into explaining to me what that can do to an elderly person. And then he said, call me later, and I'll give you my recommendations, and hopefully it's not too late. And so anyway, 3 days later, I took her to critical care to have her checked out, and they had me take her to the ER, and she was hospitalized, and like about just a few days later, she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Well, the thing that's got me really stumped is after she was released from the hospital, where she received an ERCP procedure, I took her to her iridologist, and she said she did not have cancer. I also got this information from a local herbalist, or I guess you would call him one of those people that, you know, just kind of educates you. He didn't think she had cancer. Well, to make a long story short, she wound up back in the hospital, and they performed about 10 or 12 more procedures on her, and she wound up passing with a horrible death. She had all kind of diseases. And my mama tried to leave the hospital. She didn't want to be in a hospital. She didn't like being on prescriptions. And, you know, she was strapped down to the bed until she could no longer move at all. She was, like, paralyzed toward the end. She had locked-in paralysis and a slew of other horrible things going on. And they just simply gave her morphine in the end.
Well, this is what, and then they get up and do the same thing the next day, and then they're still in business. There's no retribution. There's no lawsuit. There's not even any guilt, because as far as they're concerned, they delivered the best medicine that modern culture has to provide, and this is why the MDs are so unbelievably dangerous, because they have no ability to self-correct. They have no ability to criticize their own behavior. They're completely unrepentant. They're unrepentant. And, you know, there was a book that was written a long time ago, and the protagonist in the book, his name was Machiavelli. And Machiavelli's whole thing was that the ends justify the means, and even though you might have to kill 1 million innocent people in order to free the country, it's well worth it because the ends justify the means. And Machiavellian has become a term that we use to describe people who justify anything that they want to that's bad and evil and harmful and just bad, you know, because of some greater good, right? Oh, we must do this in order to make medicine progress, and it's nonsense. This is why these guys are so dangerous. This is why I call my radio show Fire Your MD Now. It's not, you know, get a second opinion. It's fire your MD now, because the stuff that they bring to the table, the skill set that they bring to the table is dangerous, it's outdated, it's archaic, it's one-sided, it's completely driven by money, and it's completely supported by all of their cronies. I mean, it's like being in the antebellum South where everybody owned slaves and everybody was okay with it, and it became reality by consensus. It's a big bad voodoo daddy. If it's not too late, I'd get an autopsy done, see if she really did have pancreatic cancer, and if she didn't hire a good lawyer. Thanks for the call, Terry. Ladies and gentlemen, what are you going to do? Fire your MD now. That's what you're going to do. And check out my website in the meantime. I'll give you support where they won't. We're going to talk to Abdullah in France when we come back. How about that? Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, doing what we do every day, showing people the light of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, encouraging them to get on the other side of their health by firing their MDs for chronic health conditions, only visiting the MD when it comes to a life-threatening trauma or surgery when it's absolutely positively necessary, and supporting and promoting the structure and function of the health of their body with science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery, delivered by licensed, regulated naturopathic physicians in generic boilerplate form, because everybody is sick and suffering, because everybody doesn't know what to do. I mean, it's like everybody's wandering around in the wilderness and nobody's figured out how to start fires. We know how to start the fire, and we're populating this message as fast as we can. We're going to Abdullah now, who's calling, believe it or not, from a hospital in France. Abdullah, thanks for the phone call. Can you hear me? You are live.
Yep. Hear me, Dr.
Yeah, we've got a really bad connection, so because you're calling all the way from France, I'm gonna give you a minute here, and we'll just try to comprehend what's going on. How can we help?
Listen, can you hear me?
Yep.
I was admitted into hospital 3 days ago. I was suffering from severe stress, and my body just gave up on me. Basically, for 3 days, and then on next year, antibiotic, baby nausea, Panadol in liquid form, sodium chloride, and magnesium, and it's not what happens to my body in a positive sense. I need your advice in terms of nutrition and how to get me out of this situation. Okay, well, what's your current body weight in pounds, Abdullah? In pounds, I'm not sure, sir. It's 68 kilos, and I'm a type 1 diabetic. Okay, so 68 kilograms, that's about 135 pounds. Let's call it 140 pounds. You're type 1 diabetic. How long have you known that you're type 1, Abdullah? For over 20 years. And how old are you? Okay. And what were you doing before this happened to you? You know, in the weeks preceding your breakdown here, what were you doing on a day-to-day basis? Yes, sir. I was actually admitted into a hospital before this time for the same reason, because I was going through some personal issues, and I was having incredible stress upon my body.
Yeah.
It gave up on me, and I started hurting really badly. I started vomiting. I started my blood sugar levels were at sky-high rates, above 400, above 500.
Yeah. And what part of France were you living in, and what were you doing physically? Were you working outside? Were you exercising? Were you sweating a lot? Had you changed your diet? What were you doing on a day-to-day basis with your physical body?
On a day-to-day basis, I was going to the gym and I was spending my time outside. But for the past week and a half, I was at home because I was facing some personal issues.
Yeah.
And I was just completely stressed out.
Yeah, okay, so all right, I get it. So let me tell you our perspective on this, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, good. So breakdowns like this are caused by nutrient deficiencies, right? Your central nervous system, your digestive tract, your circulatory system needs nutrients in order to function properly. And when you're exercising and spending time out of doors in hot summer weather, your body's sweating out nutrients and burning through nutrients, and then when you add to that emotional, psychological stress, that also burns through nutrients, and then you wake up one morning and your nutritional tank is completely empty, and so you have a breakdown. Now, if you add on top of this a chronic type 1 diabetic issue, I mean, that's like kicking somebody when they're down. So the recommendation for you to get back your health every month would be 1 healthy blood sugar pack, 1 healthy blood sugar pack, 1 bottle of EFA plus, 1 healthy blood sugar pack, 1 bottle of EFA plus, 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX, 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX, and 2 bottles of plant minerals. That's 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals, 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX plus, 1 healthy blood sugar pack, 1 bottle of EFA plus, and 3 bottles of selenium. 3 bottles of selenium. Abdullah, if you need help ordering that, 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696.
Let me tell you something, doctor.
All right, hold on, buddy. We're up against the hard break. Stick around. I'll bring you up after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. We're going to go back to France with more from Abdullah when we come back. Stick around. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. If you're listening to the podcast, right, the number to call for information, 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. Once more, that's 855-347-3696. All right, Abdullah, I think there's something else you want to run by us. What's up?
Yeah, Dr. Glidden, I just forgot taking, before I was admitted into hospital, I was taking carnivora, and carnivora, also, I was taking a nutritional supplement called Evolution C. It's by this company called superfoodevolution.com.
I'm familiar with both. Yeah, I'm familiar with both products, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I was taking hemp from Organic Hemp USA.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a guy here in the United States, Dr. Phil, and, you know, he gives people counsel all the time. He has a TV show, and he's like a psychiatrist, psychologist guy, right? And one of Dr. Phil's most famous lines is, well, how's that working for you, right? So this is the thing, Abdullah, about medical nutrition that's so important, and this is, I think, one of my greatest, contributions to longevity, right? Because like Dr. Wallach, I'm a naturopathic physician, and like Dr. Wallach, I have decades of clinical experience in the delivery of medical nutrition. And before I became affiliated with longevity, I didn't have any particular ties to any vitamin companies. I worked for another vitamin company for years, but before I met Dr. Wallach and started mentoring with him, I'd recommend this nutritional supplement, that nutritional supplement. It didn't really matter because I was very open-minded and I used the stuff that worked clinically. And as God is my witness, most of the time, Dr. Wallach's nutritional supplements eclipse the effectiveness of every other nutritional supplement, which is why now I'm a 100% advocate of Dr. Wallach's nutritional supplements. It's not because of the financial opportunity, which is awesome. It's because they work better than anything I've ever seen. And they do. And this is what it's about with medical nutrition, man. It's the proof of the pudding is in the eating, right? I mean, the antibiotic either works or it doesn't. The drug either works or it doesn't. The surgical procedure either was successful or it wasn't. The nutritional supplement either works or it doesn't. And this is why in this crappy economy in the United States, that last year, 2012, longevity grew 300%. How is that possible? Because it works. We move forward slowly because of the effectiveness of the products. And, you need the right thing for the right condition and the right dosage. And so my recommendation to you is the same as it is for everybody. With you, though, it's more urgent because you're in trouble here, man. I mean, you're up against it. You're in big, bad voodoo daddy land. You're in trouble here. You need help. So get this stuff into your body as soon as you possibly can. Get this stuff into your body as soon as you possibly can. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. I know that's hard in France, but take my advice. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. No more French bread. Take the nutritional supplements into your body. And give me a call back after you've done that for 3 weeks. After you've taken this stuff into your body for 3 weeks, Abdullah, give me a call back with a report. I'll look forward to it.
I just want to tell you, I've ordered a few products from Longevity, and it's already in France. It's just clearing customs.
Great. Gotta love it, man. Fantastic. Keep up the good work, Abdullah. I appreciate your trust. I appreciate the call. I appreciate your patience. And get back to us with a report in a couple of weeks. I'll look forward to it. How about that, ladies and gentlemen, all the way to France. So where have we been today? We've been all over the U.S., we've been in Germany, and we've been in France. Now we're going to Florida. How about that? To talk to Abby, I think. Hey, Abby, thanks for the call. You are live.
Thank you for taking my call, Dr. Glidden. I have a quick question about my daughter and something that I would like to try with her. I don't remember if you, I don't know if you remember her story with the omegas, right?
Well, I might, but the listening audience doesn't, so bring us up to speed.
Okay, well, she had problems with the lack of omegas since she was born until she was like probably 1.5 when I started with longevity. She was taking omegas from other sources, but they were not working. And when I called longevity, they explained to me why, because they were nitrogen-packed and all that. And I did the switch, and it worked like a charm. However, she had been also having problems. She had all the time problems with milk. And being that the case that she was lacking the omegas and not getting all she needed from the milk and, because all the problems she had, I would like to know if I can give my daughter for some time some smart FX or Renew IQ to help recover what she might have lost throughout the first 1.5 years of not getting what she needed.
No, it doesn't work that way, but the central nervous system is very malleable, and especially at her early age, I don't think you need to worry about recovering stuff that she's lost. You need to worry about giving her the stuff that her body needs to move forward. And at a young age like this, if you give the body all of the nutrients all of the time in absorbable doses appropriate for body weight, and she's not eating any of the other crap that all the other kids in this country eat, I mean, her central nervous system is going to be optimized regardless of what happened in the first year of her life. The only time that becomes really problematic, Abby,
is if the child is born with a birth defect, you know, like there's a cleft lip or a cleft palate or spina bifida or Down syndrome, right, or autism. Once these things are present, they're baked into the cake, and it's, you know, impossible, quite frankly, to get on the other side of them. With the possible exception of muscular dystrophy and cystic fibrosis. But so what we do here is just do the very best that we can do. My advice here would be continue to give her the EFA plus, appropriate for her body weight. And once you have that dialed in, give her additional Smart FX and also the Renew IQ. And this, of course, you know, is assuming that she's taken the 90 essential nutrients with the EFA plus. And once you've got those bases covered and she's good to go with that stuff every day, then you can add the Smart FX and the Renew IQ. And the Smart FX, the dosage for a child, I don't even know. I'd have to look that up. The recommendation for the Smart FX, I believe one bottle of the Smart FX is recommended for a 100-pound person a month. How much does your daughter weigh?
About 25 pounds, yeah.
All right, so you'd need to give her a quarter of the dose of the Smart FX. So divide the number of capsules in the bottle of the Smart FX by 30, and then give her 25% of that number every day of the Smart FX. And of the Renew IQ, it'd be about a quarter of a scoop of the Renew IQ a day, a quarter of a scoop of the Renew IQ a day. That's going to be tricky with her because that stuff, it has a little bit of a bitter taste to it. It's not the best tasting stuff in the world. You know, if you mix it up with the other stuff, you might be able to get some traction there. But that's what I would do in that regard. And I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about the past, but I would worry about maintaining the discipline moving forward, especially in the next 12, 13 years of her life, because her body's going to be growing and changing and growing and changing. And the child's nutrient needs are double or triple that of an adult because their body is in, you know, growing mode all of the time. I don't think there's anything to worry about there, but it's a really good question. And by the way, folks, if you're watching the live video feed, I pulled up a picture of Abi, the guy that's we're on the line with from Miami now. It's a before and after picture. Quite a remarkable change from June 2011, 170 pounds, to June 2013, 132 pounds. Quite a difference. And Abi, how many physical complaints did you have before you came on board with Longevity?
Well, close to 30.
30.
They're all gone.
30 complaints, and they're all gone. And give me the top 3 complaints that you were suffering from, Abi. What were the top 3 complaints?
Top 3, the top one was I have been suffering. I'm 40 years of age right now. I have been suffering from chronic diarrhea since I was like 18 or 19. And it took me about 7 months to get rid of that.
You had diarrhea. How many times a day would you have to go to the bathroom?
7, 8 times. And
7, 8 times a day
like
for 20. Holy crap. Pun intended. All right, so that's all gone. That's a good thing. What's number 2?
Number 2 is 2005. I got a herniated disc, and I was sent home. Couldn't walk for 3 months. And, you know, I was limited for life not to carry over 20 pounds. And now I can carry my wife on my shoulders and do squats. So imagine that. And, well, the other ones, I remember I had very, very dry skin, and chapped lips, like bleeding all the time. I had to use, like, cream all the time. I don't use any cream. I use nothing right now, and my skin is just perfect.
Yeah,
not because I say it, because people say it to me.
Yeah, and if you look at the before and after pictures, I mean, it's one of the most remarkable transformations I've seen in Longevity. Abi, you are a testament to the product, and thank God for Abi and his wife Donis, who shortly, folks, are going to have the first Spanish-language longevity radio program right here on the Genesis Communication Network. Stay tuned for updates on that. We should be dialing that in this week. Javi, you're the greatest. Keep up the good work down there in Miami. We're going to go from Miami to Iowa now and talk to Sean. Hey, Sean, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hello?
Hello, Sean. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Dr. Glidden?
Pretty good. What's up, man?
Doing pretty good. I actually have a question, which I'm not for certain whether you'll be able to, how specific you'll be able to be on the answer, but it's about my fiance. We had our daughter, and she was born with a neurotooth defect.
Yeah.
Which is known as anencephaly or anencephalocele.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering, what you would, other than, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine or on the Healthy Start Pack, what you would recommend to, or what you know about it, if anything, like what would help to possibly stop that from occurring. In
the future?
Yeah.
Well, from our point of view, birth defects, 100% of birth defects are the obstetrician's fault, the obstetrician's fault, the person that's taking care of your wife during the pregnancy. Because from our point of view, 100% of birth defects are caused by nutrient deficiencies at different stages of fetal development during the pregnancy. Dr. Wallach would have a specific answer as for exactly what nutrient was lost here. But as far as we're concerned, it's not genetic. There's no gene that codes for this. It's a broken chromosome. It's a defective gene. How do chromosomes break? How do chromosomes become defective? Because they run out of the nutrients necessary to maintain their health. So you'd have to call Dr. Wallach to get a specific answer to this, but I'm assuming the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, the Beyond OsteoFX, the essential fatty acids, and the selenium appropriate for body weight is going to be exactly what the doctor ordered. If you need more specifics than that, give Wallach a call because that's his wheelhouse. Welcome back, everybody, to the final segment of the second hour, September 16th, 2013. We're going to go right to Virginia. Terry's calling back with a question about pancreatic cancer. Hey, Terry, thanks for the call back. What's up?
I got cut off from you. I was going to tell you that I tried to find a lawyer for my mom's situation, and I could not find one in the area. And the lawyers that I talked to, they said that I would probably have to find a diabetic lawyer. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense to me. There are specific lawyers that specialize in lawsuits against hospitals and doctors. So I really don't think that those guys that you were talking to knew what was up with that. How long ago did your mom die?
She died October the 14th of last year.
Of last year. And was she cremated or was she buried?
She was buried.
Okay, so probably what would need to happen is you'd need to exhume the body and have an autopsy of the pancreas done, either that or secure the slides and the tissue cultures that the MDs did, if they did any, in order to secure the diagnosis. But what you really need here, Terry, is a lawyer who specializes in suing medical people. A lawyer who specializes in... Yeah, that's outside of my wheelhouse. I do not know, and I have no idea how to get that information besides using the Internet. I wish I could help you there. I'll float that question to the longevity community tonight. We have a live chat tonight as part of the subscription service. So I'll float that question tonight, and then I'll give you the answer on air tomorrow. You don't have to worry about calling back. I'll just start tomorrow's segment with an answer about that. My heart goes out to you, Terry. Thanks for the call. We'll hopefully have you dialed in and help. We're going to end it out today with Sherman from Florida. Hey, Sherman, thanks for calling. I've got 3 minutes left. How can I help?
Okay, I'll try and make it quick for you. I'm 6'5", 450 pounds. I know I'm supposed to be taking 5 of those Healthy Start Packs, but I was only available to get 1. I've been taking it for 4 days. I've lost 12 pounds, and my energy level is going up, so that's a great thing.
That's great.
The problem I'm having is I'm getting these big colored blotches on my skin, on my legs and my arms. And I was wondering what's up with that.
All right, that's again that never happened to you before, right?
No.
And are they itchy?
No, not at all. It's just.
And do they come and they go, or do they come and they stay?
No, I noticed them there this last night, as a matter of fact. So I got up and I took my dosage and that, and they're still there.
Okay, and what color is it?
Maybe like a tan color, maybe a light orange, maybe.
That's fascinating. That's really fascinating. That's really, really fascinating. I'm not sure what's causing the skin blotching here. It might be a function of the food coloring, or not the food coloring, but the stuff that's in the fruits and vegetables that are in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Are you taking the OsteoFX and the EFAs as well, or are you just doing the Beyond Tangy?
No, all three of them.
Okay, and historically, have you ever had a problem with an allergy to shellfish?
No.
Okay, so this is complete. I've never heard anybody tell me this, so I wish I had an answer for you, Sherman. As long as it's not, like itchy or scaly or funky, it could just be a function of your body burning fat and liberating crap into the bloodstream that then your liver has to deal with. One thing that you may want to add, actually that I would add if I were you, is a bottle or two of the selenium. A bottle or two of the selenium every month. So take 3 selenium a day, or 6 selenium a day, or 9 selenium a day, because the selenium will help your liver to detoxify crap that your fat releases into the bloodstream as your body burns it up and as you're regaining your weight. Listen, man, take pictures of your body in the mirror every week, and we will track your progress over time. We've got a handful of people like you around the country who are making remarkable success. Stick with me. Call me every 2 weeks. Take pictures, and I'll hold your hand and walk you right through this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time. I'm Dr. Glidden. I'll see you tomorrow, God willing.